Hey everyone, Liz here. I am so excited because I made an absolute steal of a find last week. And so my plan is I'm going to show you my find and then take you along for the process of restoring it. So enjoy and let me know if you have any questions. I am by no means an expert. I'm just watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading a lot of articles on how to do this work. So enjoy. This is my find. It is a great wheel or walking wheel, and it came from a lady in Milton, Vermont that has had it for about 25 years and used it as decoration. And my plan is to get her functioning again because she has most of her parts and I'm excited. So what I've done so far is I've just cleaned her with a damp cloth and then conditioned it with beeswax, olive oil, and coconut oil. And so I just did a really light coat of that. This is actually in really good shape. It's pretty clean, but you know, what she's missing is she's missing a part to the wheel bearing right here. And then she's missing it's called the Mother of All in the Maidens with a spindle and accelerator that I ordered off of eBay. And it should be here next week. But you've got your tension adjuster here, and I got some new material to make a drive band. So this is just cotton warping thread that is used for weaving. So I'm excited to get the new Mother of All and Maidens, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So this is what came with this machine, and what you can see here is it's missing a male part that would let it sit right there. And then I'm going to put this down so I can talk about it. So this is called the Mother of All, and there should be a male part here. These are the maidens, and then this is the spindle, and you actually spin yarn right here. And so the drive band goes right here, and that's what rotates the spindle with the great wheel. But it's really cool. I think it's really cool because it has bearings that I need to make made out of corn husks. And so I'm gonna make some new bearings for this one because my plan is to use this one to just try it out. So we'll see how that goes. Hey everybody, so today we are going to be making some new bearings for this particular piece that I have that came with my new great wheel. So this is meant to be a miner's head because it has holes in the top of the maidens to accommodate another piece, which is called the accelerator, but that's missing. But today we're just focusing on these corn husk bearings. There's supposed to be two, so there's one here, and then this one over here has really disintegrated, so it's kind of not even there. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the existing corn husk bearings and then give it a good clean. And once we've given a good clean, gotten the existing bearings out, then I will show you the process of hopefully recreating them with some corn husks that have been soaked. So this is a dry one, but I have some soaking just in plain water, and we are going to braid them up and make some new bearings. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the spindle. This is just a piece. This is where you can put your drive band. This is called a
direct drive if you do it that way. But the way that I want to do it is with what's called an accelerator. So then you have your spindle here with a nice pointy tip, and this is what you spin your yarn onto. So I'm going to remove that, set that aside, and then kind of examine how this is in here, and it is with a couple of nails. So I'm gonna remove the nails. Just gonna try and pull them out. Yep, that's a gnarly nail. Okay, and then let's see if the other one comes out. Oh yeah, that came out quite easily. It's not even sharp on the end. Okay, so now I'm going to try to remove the existing corn husks. And this one seems to have a lot of gunk and oil on it, so this may take some real finagling. Let's see if I can get this one out in one piece. Oh, it's really tight. Let's see. That kind of fell apart here. Okay, it's gonna break. Let's think about, get this out of the way. Let's think about maybe doing that. I don't know.
Hey everyone, so last night I gave this part a good clean and got the old bearings out of these holes. But when I tried to make the new bearings out of new corn husks, they were way too thick. So I'm going to try again today. I've got my soaked corn husks, I've got thread and needles, and then just a pair of kitchen shears. So this was the original bearing and the original thickness. So it's like, I don't know, 3/4 or half the size of my finger in circumference, and it's just a 3-strand braid. So that's what I'm going to do to replicate it. And so what I found yesterday was that the shape of the corn husk really impacted the shape of the end bearing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to even this out with some scissors. I'm going to cut off a couple inches from the end. And then when I'm tearing my pieces, let's see, these were the width of pieces that I used last night, and it was just a little too tight. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller than that and tear some pieces here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll do an extra just in case we need it. Okay. So the other thing that I did yesterday that did not work was I held it in my mouth and then braided it. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sew the ends together. I still might hold it in my mouth, but at least it won't come undone when I let go of it. So just get one of my needles here. One thing that I'm learning as I do some research is that there's a lot of like conflicting information out there about what great wheels are and where they come from, when they became popular. So like I've read one thing that says that they were really popular in the 14th century, and then the next, piece of information I encountered said that they were popular in the 17th century, which may be true. Like both things can be true, but I wanted to know like when did they originate? Like who invented the great wheel? Or was it just like something that was collectively, known? I don't know. So if you know any information about the origins of great wheels, I would love to hear from you. Okay, there's your little knot. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 of these and just kind of lightly sew them together. Is that 3? It's a good thing I'm not a math teacher, let me tell you. I once was going to be a math teacher, and then I got to college and I failed calculus, so I quickly had to readjust my plan. Okay. And then maybe we'll give it a little wrap, because one thing I noticed about the old bearings is that they were secured with some dark like blue or black thread. So I'm going to try and do that same thing here. And just going to make one more knot. I wish that I had a tripod so that I could really show you what's happening here, but that is kind of what I've come up with. So now I'm going to braid. Let me cut this. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my mouth. Okay. Ooh, I braided my hair into it. Well, there we go. All right, so here's what I've come up with. I'm going to sew the other end now, and see if I can get this working. I did watch one video and this woman was talking about making new bearings, and she said, well, tie your knots ahead of time. And I didn't tie my freaking knot ahead of time. So now I've got to finagle it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I did it. Okay. So I'm going to go right through the middle. Oop, my knot's not big enough. God damn it. Sorry. I'm going to hold this in my mouth while I tie another knot. I know it might be gross, but whatever. All right. see if we can't. So, if you too find yourself restoring a great wheel and making new bearings, tie your knots ahead of time so that you don't have to be like me. Yeah, so let's do that. And then we'll do a little knotty knot. Ouch, I just poked myself. Okay, so once I'm done with this, I'm gonna try to insert it into the maidens that I have, and hopefully it fits, and it will expand a little bit because it's wet right now. So it'll tighten up the fit. That's why it was so hard to get the first ones, the old ones out, is because they were just expanded and in there, and yeah, so there's a little wild hair. All right. So here we have, I'm not the greatest braider, but here we have a new bearing. So I'm going to fold it in half and compare it to the old one. So the old one's a little bit thicker, but that's okay. So I'm going to take my, oh, freaking frack, okay, this is I was wondering which end was out. And it's this end because of the cutaway here for where your drive band goes. Okay, so I'm just gonna insert it from the back. Really glad I didn't make this any bigger. I think it would be a lot harder to get in there if I did. Okay, so I wish I had a pair of tweezers, because it is stuck in there. Let's see if I can go this way maybe. And I think that would be better. There we go. Hey, it's coming through. You know what? This might be too short. Well, actually, no. That's okay. Okay, so here's what I've got. Got some surplus on the end there, so I'm going to pull that out a little bit. And I'm going to put the nail back in. Actually, I think I'm going to get some new nails because these ones are just like broken and rusty, and they might be original, but this one might be original. The other one definitely isn't, but they're in rough shape, and my goal here is to get this working. So I'm gonna go get some new nails and then make another bearing and put it together. Okay, so I think I've done the best that I can do with the skills that I have, which I think it's pretty all right. So here is what I came up with. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. So we have the two corn husk bearings here and here, and once this has a chance to like settle a little bit, I'll oil it. And what I did was I installed the spindle. And it does spin quite nicely here, and it'll actually spin really smoothly once there's some tension on the end of this spindle where I'm going to make yarn. Oh, fart nuggets. I forgot to put, oh wait, no, I can tie it around there. It's fine. So I was going to say I forgot to put the drive band around here, but I can just tie it around it when the time comes. So not a big deal, but this spins pretty freely. I think I may need to adjust this guy right here. I think there's a little bit too much play, around there, but we'll try it out as is and see what we can see. So here's my very first, I need to condition it, but my very first restored piece to make it functional. I'm super excited.